Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cooking with my Yeti. So today I am making a creamy chicken and dumpling soup. So to start us off, we are going to make our dumplings first. So dumplings are really simple. It's flour, some baking powder, salt, and if you want to add a seasoning, you can, along with melted butter and some water. So we're making our dumplings first so that they have a little bit of time to rest while the soup is being made. So once you make your little dumpling recipe, what you want to do is you just want to check the consistency. So I just wanted to make sure it was a little bit tacky before I started making the soup. So to make the creamy chicken soup, what you need is garlic, carrots, celery, onion, and in my seasonings I have salt, black pepper, some dried thyme, and of course we also have a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder just to make everything super delicious. I melted some butter and turned it a little bit brown, so it was a little bit towards smoking. And I tossed all my veggies in there at the same time, along with the seasonings. And I just wanted to coat them in that butter and make sure that they started to cook. Once they started to cook, I actually covered it, and I covered it for a reason. I wanted to make sure that the veggies released that juice that you see on the bottom of that pan, because that is a flavor bomb. All of those veggies condensed down. Next, I added in some chicken breast. So this is actually a frozen chicken breast that I had in my freezer, and I actually just cut it as it was frozen, so that's why it's kind of hard and it looks like that. The reason I cut the chicken while it was still frozen was so that it gave me thin slices. I wanted the soup to cook a little bit faster than normal, so some thin slices, make sure that will happen. Next, I added in flour to thicken up the soup just a little bit, and what I have is some chicken broth concentrate. Of course, you could use liquid chicken broth or bouillons. This is just the one that I had. So I added in about 2 cups of water into that whole mixture, and I started mixing it around really kind of roughly just to make sure that there's no lumps. I didn't want any flour lumps in there. After I mixed all that together, I'm going to go ahead and add my creaminess, which came from 1 cup of heavy cream and 1 cup of water. Actually, 2 cups of water to 1 cup of heavy cream. Then I let that simmer just a little bit until the milk started frothing, and then this is when I added in my dumplings. So all I did is I literally just took a little piece, rolled them into tiny little balls in my hand, and tossed them into the soup and let them boil. To make sure that it was finished, I cut them and made sure that the inside was a little bit dry looking. That's how I knew my dumplings were done. So that is how you make creamy chicken dumpling soup. Recipe in the description. Bye!